having discussed the surface area of a cube, the volume of a cube, the next thing we should know here under cube is the length of diagonal. The length of the diagonal. You know, diagonal is the line that divides a shape from its edge. For example, if I have a square, this is its diagonal. This is also another diagonal. So we want to calculate the length of the diagonal of a cube. For example, if I have this to be shaded, time does not permit us, I would have explained this in detail, but I will just give us the formula so that we can work with it whenever a question is given to us. So the length of the diagonal is given length of the diagonal of a cuboid. For example, if this particular shape is labeled A, B, C, okay, and we have P, Q, R, P, Q, R. We've known that all the sides are length, P, Q, R. Then we label this place to be B, okay, and we label this to be S. Good. And we say this particular place is X, this is X, and this is X. Okay, let's say this is X. This is X. Now, if we want to calculate the length of the diagonal QD, the length of the diagonal QD from here to this point, the formula is length of the diagonal QD is given as the square root of x squared plus x squared plus s squared. So we have square root of 3x squared, and that's the formula for the length of diagonal of a cube. So those are the three things that are necessary, very important when we are talking about the solid mensuration, especially on cube and cuboid. So we have the surface area of a cube to be 6L squared, 6L squared, and the volume of a cube to be L cubed, while the length of the diagonal of a cube is 3x squared, the square root of 3x squared. Now let's have a question here. Let's say a cube has a length 5 centimeter. Example. A cube has a length 5 centimeter. Okay, and calculate surface area, length of diagonal, and volume. Calculate the surface the surface area, 2, the length of diagonal, and 3, the volume. Now we have to calculate these three things. Of course, it is very easy. Let's just give a similitude of what we explained here. Solution. We are going to have, let's assume this is the cubic shape. We have this. Okay, now we have 5 centimeter. all the sides are equal. So we have 5 centimeter to everything. So let's say this is A, B, C, D. As we did that, let's say P, Q, R, S, for instance. Good. So, well, we have 5 centimeter in all, 5 centimeter. So, the surface area as calculated, surface area of the given cuboid of the given cube of the cube equals 6L squared, and our L is 5, the length is L5, which is 6 times 5 squared, and that is 6 times 25, and our final result will be 25 times 3 is 75. 75 times 2 will be 150. So 25 times 6 is 150 centimeter squared, because we are dealing with area. Okay, now the next thing is the length of the diagonal QD. The diagonal QD. So here we have length of the diagonal QD equals the square root of x squared plus x squared plus x squared, as explained earlier, equals the square root of, this is x, 5, 5, 5. So we have 5 squared plus 5 squared plus 5 squared, which is the same as 3, 5 squared. 3, 5 squared. So we have the square root of 3 times 25. 3 times 25. Okay, so we say that the square root is 3, from the law of third. When we have something multiplied in a square root, we can bring them in different square roots and say the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of 25. So we have root 25, which is a perfect square, times the square root of 3, so we have 5 root 3. This is the length of the diagonal QD. Now, the last thing we have to solve here is the volume. And of course, we've stated earlier that the volume of a cube is L cube, since all the sides of a cube are the same, equal lengths. So we have equal length. So now we have volume of the third question. I think this is the second question, and this is our first question, the attempt to the question. So we have the third question to be volume of the cube, which the formula is L raised to power 3. So L raised to power 3. Now our length is given in the question as 5. So we have 5 times 5 times 5. So we have 5 times 5 to be 25. 25 times 5 to be 75 centimeter cube, since it is volume. And that ends the solution of our question. So that is virtually everything that will be asked on Q. If they don't ask for the area, they will ask for the volume. If they do not ask for the volume, they will ask you to calculate for the length of the diagonal. So